Boy Flicks back with another Tottenham update. If you're new to my channel and you've never ever seen my videos before, hit that subscribe button, smash a like, have your say in the comment section, please. It's been a while since I've done a little live, little Tottenham update. Obviously this one's going to be, I'm going to start off with obviously Xavi Simons. Look, we all know he was linked or still linked with Chelsea. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really keeping my hopes up on this one. You know, for the big one, it's Daniel Levy. You know what I mean? All these rumours going around, and saying that, talk about rumours. There's not really a lot going around with the top football journalists. You know what I mean? Like David Ornstein being one of them. So you know, and not only that, if we pull this one out the bag, even if we hear the words of "here we go," you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really. It's just the thought of, you know, Chelsea. Chelsea. They seem to get us every single time. Every single time. But oh, time will tell on it. Time will tell on this one. Look, Xavi Simons. He's only 22 years old. Phenomenal football player. Absolutely phenomenal. Obviously currently at RB Leipzig. Like I said, he's heavily linked with Chelsea, and as far as I know, he's somewhere in London as I speak. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm not going to believe this one until I hear the words of "here we go." And even if we do hear the words of "here we go," you know what I mean? It's just Tottenham. You never know what is going to happen, and you've only got look at this. Look at this way. You've only got to look at Ebrechese. You know what I mean? Talks were going on for far too long with Levy. You know what I mean? You got negotiations. What was there to talk about? Arsenal come in, bang, last minute. Here's your money. We'll have him. Deal's done. You know what I mean? It takes the piss. Absolutely takes the piss. But Xavi Simons, like I said, age only 22, phenomenal player. We all see what he done with the Dutch side in the Euros, in the last Euros. Absolutely phenomenal. But I'd like to think the likes of Rafael van der Vaart, even Mickey van der Ven, you know what I mean? Agent van der Ven, you know what I mean? Get a little word in on our boy Xavi Simons. Let's try and mug these Chelsea lot off, you know what I mean? Let's actually get this kid over the line, you know what I mean? Because obviously deadline day is next Monday. Clock is ticking. Clock is ticking, boys and girls. We all know our squad depth is piss poor. You know what I mean? I've said it time and time again, because it's true. When we've got our full strength 11, we can virtually take anyone on. You know what I mean? So I'd like to think that, you know, if we do get this one over the line, it's the likes of Van der Ven and Rafael van der Vaart. Big up Rafael van der Vaart, you know what I mean? Like, you know, just thinking about it now, has Chelsea actually got any Dutch players in their squad? Quickly thinking out, I don't think they have. I don't think they have. I don't think they have. So, like I said, I like to think Agent Mickey's going to have a little word with Xavi Simons on the side and say, you know, look, this Tottenham side's on the up, you know what I mean? Champions of Europe. We're in the Champions League now. Got this phenomenal stadium. A top manager and Thomas the Frank engine. Big up Thomas Frank, you know what I mean? So, but like I keep saying, I am not holding my hopes up. Even if we hear the words of "here we go," I'm not going to get excited until I see Xavi Simons holding that Spurs shirt. So, and like I keep saying, we've been here before with certain players. Like I said, with Ebrechese, you know what I mean? That really pissed me off. But we're moving on now. We're moving on. And also, it's, you know, Chelsea, they owe us a little favour, you know what I mean? They gave us Timo Werner, you know what I mean? Owe us a little favour now, come on. You know, I'm sick of being mugged off with these deadwood players, you know what I mean? So, and, you know, I was watching the We Are Tottenham boys earlier, and obviously scrolling through the comments, and someone put in the comment section, you know, what if look at this scenario. What if RB Leipzig come in with an offer? Sorry, if Tottenham come in with a higher offer than Chelsea, are we going to get Xavi Simons? Well, not really, not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's at the end of the day, it's down to the player. If the player wants to join Tottenham, or does he want to join Chelsea? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know. But in other news, obviously the Champions League draw is at 5 o'clock this evening. Come on, look, we're back in the Champions League. Hit us up in the comment section, guys that are watching. Smash a like as well, please. Subscribe if you're new. But hit us up in the comment section quickly on your thoughts on Xavi Simons, a big potentially joining Spurs, but it looks more like he's going to join Chelsea in this moment in time. And also the Champions League draw. Who would you like to see Tottenham play? Now we're back in the big time. We're back in the Champions League where we belong. So come on, let's hear your thoughts on that. I'm also hearing, mainly on social media, obviously, the Basuma deal to Galatasaray on loan, by the way, is completely off. It's off, as far as I know. I know the majority of Spurs fans were wanting to see Basuma go. If you're asking me, and if you've seen my previous videos, one uploaded yesterday actually, put his bullshit aside, as in, you know, he's been turning up late for training. Thomas Frank's been working on that. But at the end of the day, you got to look at our squad depth. Like I keep saying, our squad depth is absolutely piss poor. You know what I mean? Basuma, when we got Basuma from Brighton, you know, he wasn't the Basuma. He wasn't the Basuma that we got from Brighton at the start of him being on a Spurs shirt. Comments are coming in a minute. I'm gonna have a little scroll through them in a minute because I'm currently doing my live from my phone, by the way, guys. But towards the end of last season, roughly, especially in Europa, Basuma was phenomenal, man. He put in a shift. He worked his socks off. That's the Basuma I want to see. So if you're going to ask me right now, do we keep hold of Basuma? Yes, we do. For the simple fact of he can play, but it just needs to be consistent. It's like Richarlison. It needs to be consistent week in, week out. It can't. These certain players, they can't pick and choose when they want to be phenomenal. When we all know they've got it in them. They have to be consistent week in, week out. You know what I mean? And again, this is where Daniel Levy pisses me off because, you know, we're linked with so many players, and half the time it doesn't pull off. But our squad depth is so poor. You know what I mean? Like I keep saying, our starting 11, when we've got a full strength starting 11, we can pretty much take on anyone. But, you know, at the end of the day, we need top players that can fill a bench and come off from the bench and make a very good impact. But yeah, man, I'm just going to quickly have a little look at the comments now. Guys, if you've just joined, smash your like button, you know what I mean? Smash a like, subscribe as well, I'd appreciate it. Comment here. We ain't a big club. Sooner we accept, happier we get. I get that. I get that. Yeah. I'd like to think we are a big club. You know what I mean? You've only got to look at the history. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Look, I'm not gonna say no more on that one. You know what I mean? But Conor Gallagher. Look, we hear this season after season after season. Conor Gallagher. As far as I understand, he's currently still at Atletico Madrid. We don't need him. We don't need him. We don't need him. We don't need him. But hit us up in the comments section on that one. You know, would you want to see Conor Gallagher in a Spurs shirt? In this moment in time, I feel we don't need him. Like I said, you know, you're probably thinking I'm a hypocrite right now because of our squad depth, but I truly feel we don't need him. We don't need him on that one. You know, but going back to Daniel Levy, there's a statement. I don't know if it's actually been released yet. But someone posted it on the it is legit, by the way, this statement. I don't think I'm gonna find it. Let me see if I can. No, I don't think I'm gonna find it. But if it's doing its rounds on the old socials, by the way. Basically, from what I remember, it was, you know, we're it's the same thing we hear year in year out from Daniel Levy. It's basically saying along the lines of, you know, we've got a phenomenal manager, Thomas Frank. We are backing him to as best as we can. You know, regards to transfers, again, we're doing the best we can. Same old, same old, same old. But I just feel we're not. I feel Levy's not. You know, like I said earlier, with the old Epra Chiese malarkey, you've only got to look at how that situation went. Pathetic, pathetic. A week, maybe 2 weeks, tops of so-called negotiations. Are we going to get him? You know, and even, you know, we're even hearing the rumours of here we go. You know what I mean? But it still didn't come off. Still didn't pull off. Arsenal come in last knockings, literally last knockings, and obviously offer more. And at the end of the day, you know, it was Eze's boyhood club, Arsenal, come in. So, you know what I mean? So Levy, he drags transfers on far too long, and it really pisses me off. Obviously, other players we've been linked with is West Ham's Paquetá. Again, hit us up in the comments. Would you be happy to see Paquetá join from West Ham to Spurs? If you're gonna ask me, I'll take him. I'll take him. I'll take him. Fuck it. Let's raid West Ham. Let's raid their squad. Let's raid them. You know what I mean? They are in the shit right now, as we know. You know what I mean? It's not been a very good start for West Ham. But Lucas Paquetá, yeah, I'd take him. I would definitely take him right now. But in this moment in time, I'd like to think it's a big if. It's a big if. We all know that. I'd love to see Xavi Simons in a Spurs shirt. I really would. I really would. It would be a phenomenal addition. You know what I mean? And you've only got to think back to, like, if obviously if James Maddison wasn't injured, if Dejan Kulusevski, if he wasn't injured, I know we've had a fantastic start. I know it's only been 2 games to this new Premier League season, but we've had a phenomenal start. Who would have thought before the start of last weekend that we would have got 3 points at the Etihad? But we did. We did. You know, quickly thinking now, I know we got Bournemouth on the weekend, but after that, our next 4 games are the likes of, I think we got West Ham, Brighton, I think Wolves is another one, Everton possibly. But on paper, all winnable. All winnable. And, you know, we've got a fantastic manager in Thomas Frank. But, you know, he needs the backing. I said this with Ange Postecoglou. I know a lot of people are going to say right now, you know, but he wasn't the right manager. Yeah, he got us a trophy. Got us a trophy. And his system was totally different. It was all about high line. But going back to Thomas Frank, I love the way he's managing these boys. I just love the way he plays. And you've only got to look at the way he was with Brentford. Phenomenal. You know, with no disrespect to Brentford, but the majority of them were average, very average. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna cut this live very short, very soon. But yes, guys, hit us up in the comment section quickly before I go. Who would you love to see sign for Spurs before deadline day, which is obviously next Monday? Like I said, like I keep saying, you know, I'm sick to death with Tottenham being linked with so many players, and it doesn't pull off. So, like I keep saying, you know, until we hear or until we see the likes of Xavi Simons holding a Spurs shirt, then I will believe it. I will believe it. But yeah, man, only time will tell, innit? Only time will tell. But guys, I need to go now. But yeah, man, that's enough from me. Thanks for watching. Get subscribing if you are new to my channel. Get the old notifications button on as well, so when I do upload, you'll hear it first. And please share. Yeah, man, it means a lot to me. Check out all the other socials as well, and obviously the other videos. But yeah, man, that's enough from me. I'm going to be actually doing another live for the old Champions League. I know it kicks off at 5, but I'll be on a little bit after that, probably about 5:10-ish, maybe 1:15. So yeah, man, if you can join me for that, be very much appreciated. So yeah, man, that's enough from me as always. At the Spurs, guys.